So today I'm going to do part 3 of my DVD Blu-ray collection, and I'm really excited about it. But before I do that, I want to say thank you if you have subscribed, liked, commented. I kind of started this as just a way for me to talk about movies because I was used to doing it for my whole life. And then when I left my job, I didn't have the excuse to do it anymore. And it was just my way of kind of getting back into that because I love it so much. I never really expected people to interact with it at all. So I think it's really, really cool that people are. And people have even been like mentioning my videos on their channels, which I just think is incredibly, incredibly kind. And I have them listed in the description. So thank you so much. That was just a very nice thing to do. And it made me feel really welcome in this little community. And I'm really appreciative of it. So thank you again for liking, commenting, subscribing, everything. It's really cool. And it made me feel really, really excited. But we're gonna jump right into I kind of took everything down preemptively, but we're gonna jump right into everything. So thank you so much again for watching. So I'm gonna start with this shelf. I've got all of my DC pops on this shelf and also my Avatar one, which I think is the newest addition to my collection if I'm not mistaken. So I'm gonna go ahead and take down these ones. So the first movie I'm going to talk about today, I mentioned in a previous video, and that is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I absolutely loved this movie as a child. It was on constantly. I was completely obsessed with it, and I haven't watched it in quite some time, but it's incredibly special to me. And then I own both of these sequels. They're fine. I remember enjoying them when I saw them. I've only ever seen both of them once. They're good. They're just not as magical as the first one, so therefore I don't revisit them as much. And then we have an absolutely incredible one, and that is Parasite. This movie blew my mind when I saw it. It's a genre blender. It's just from like start to finish, you are so hooked on it, and I've been dying to rewatch this one because it just really, really blew my mind when I saw it. And then we've got a classic, The Goonies. I actually had never seen this movie in its entirety until COVID hit and we were bringing in older movies when we reopened, and I had the pleasure of experiencing this one from start to finish on the big screen, and it's The Goonies. Like, there's really nothing else you can say, but yeah, I was very, very excited to see this one on the big screen. And then we've got one that I don't ever hear talked about, but I love so deeply, and that's Where'd You Go, Bernadette? My mom and I went to go see this one together, and it's so funny, but also so heartwarming and different, and I don't even know how to really describe it, but it's kind of one of those ones where I was so glad that I just didn't know anything about it and had no idea of what I was in for when I saw it, but I really, really love this one, and I highly recommend checking it out. And then we've got one that everybody knows, and that's Captain America Civil War. I love this movie. I know some people don't as much, but I have a really special memory with this one. I got to go to CinemaCon in 2016 with my parents, and we got to see the movie a couple weeks early, I believe. And I also got to be in the audience when Tom Holland showed up and announced the title for Spider-Man Homecoming. So I just have a really special memory attached to this one because I got to see it before it was released, and I love this one. I think it's really good, and I really, really enjoy it. And then we've got one of my all-time favorite horror movies. I love this movie so, so much, and that's Lights Out. This movie is genuinely terrifying, but it's also so sad. And it breaks my heart, but like, it's just so good. It's the perfect movie to watch when it's like stormy and rainy and dark outside. It's perfect. It's so, so scary. I love this movie so much. I've seen it like 4 or 5 times now, and every single time it gets me, but it's really good. It's also sad. I love the story behind this one. And then we've got another like COVID era movie. This is one of the first movies that was exclusive to theaters that were open at the time, and that's The Broken Hearts Gallery. This is a rom-com, and I absolutely love it so much. I think the main character is pretty relatable because she has a hard time letting go of things that happened in her past, and I just absolutely love it. It's so funny, it's so heartwarming, and this was like the perfect like feel-good movie to go see in theaters when the world was crazy, and I absolutely love this one. I highly recommend checking it out. Another classic that I talked about in my other video, and that's Freaky Friday. I love this movie. It's so funny and it holds up so well. I rewatched it right before the sequel, and Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan are just absolute perfection in this one. And I actually really enjoyed the sequel. I thought it was really funny. I thought it did a good job at appealing to the people that grew up with the original while also getting a new audience. I only really had one complaint with this one, and that's kind of what they chose to do with Chad Michael Murray's character. But other than that, I really enjoyed this one. And then we've got one of my favorite Marvel movies, and that's Guardians of the Galaxy. This one was such a pleasant surprise because I thought the trailer looked so weird, and I thought it was way too weird to actually work, and I ended up loving it. Another kind of special memory I have with this one is the first movie that my husband and I, when we were dating, went to go see together, and he like surprised me with like a rocket pillow afterwards, and it was just, this one's very special to me. But honestly, I love all three of the Guardians movies, and I don't think that I can pick a favorite. I think I love the third one. I thought the ending was so good, and it was such a, this one was heartbreaking, but it's hard to pick a favorite. I think I might go with the first one though, but I genuinely like all three movies. And then we've got, this was in my hot takes video because I love this movie. It's one of my all-time favorite MCU movies, and that's Black Widow. I said it in my last video. I think it came out at the perfect time, and it made everything that happened in Endgame more impactful because we got to know a little bit more about her backstory, and I absolutely love this one. I get that the third act, the CGI doesn't look great, but I'm talking about from like a story standpoint. And then we've got Captain America: The First Avenger. I like this movie. It's just not one that I rewatch a ton. But Winter Soldier, I absolutely love so much. And I'm just realizing that my Civil War should have been after this one. I'm not sure how those got mixed up, but whatever. This one's fantastic. I think that's a pretty popular opinion. And then we've got a movie that when I first saw it, I thought it was a little bit overrated. I liked it. I thought it was visually stunning, but I just was a little underwhelmed by the story, and that's the first Avatar. It's not a bad movie at all. I really enjoyed it. I just didn't think that it deserved the hype at the time until the sequel, Way of Water, which I adored, and it made me cry. This was the first movie me and my husband got to go see, just the two of us, after our daughter was born, so it was like a fun, special outing. And then watching it as a mother, there's a very emotional storyline in this one, and I absolutely adored it, and I was so glad that I went to go see it, because I almost didn't, because I was like, well, I didn't love the first one, but I loved this one. And I also really loved Fire and Ash. I think Way of Water is still my favorite, but I still really enjoyed this one. They very much feel like part one and part two, so they're very similar in tone, but I think this one beats it just by a little bit. And then we've got another one, kind of like one of the early post-COVID movies, and that's Last Night in Soho. I loved this movie. It was so like stylistic and different, and just, it really hooked me from start to finish. I thought it was stunning on the big screen, and the performances are so good. I love this one so much. And then we've got kind of a newer favorite, because I had never seen the Alien movies, but I really wanted to go see Alien Romulus, so I started working my way through the franchise. I think I saw the first two, I believe, before I went to see Romulus, but I really loved the first two. Some of the other ones are not great, but you know, they're enjoyable enough. And then I've got Alien Romulus, which I absolutely loved, and this was one of my favorite theater experiences the year that it came out. I think it was 2024, but I really loved this one. And then I've got another one that was such a fun theater experience, and that is Novocaine. This came out last year, and it is so action-packed, hilarious. There's like a romance in it that totally works. It's so funny. This is my type of humor. It was absolutely hilarious. Me and my husband went to go see it, and we were laughing so hard. It's such an original idea, and I just absolutely loved this one. I highly recommend checking it out if you didn't see it. It is quite gory, but I liked it. And I'm usually not a fan of gore, but there's something about like someone that can't actually feel what's happening to them that makes it less like cringy. I don't know, but I really loved it. And then I've got a romance movie, romance drama, 5 Feet Apart. I love this movie. It's very much like The Fault in Our Stars, but it's also got a lot of humor to it and a lot of heart, and I really, really love this one. And then we've got Easy A, which is just like a classic comedy. This one is so funny. The casting is so, so good. Emma Stone is absolutely brilliant, but this one, I mean, does anybody not like this movie? Because I love it and I've never heard a bad thing about it. And then we've got another Jordan Peele one, and that is Us. I love this movie. It's so chilling to watch and unique, and the ending, it's one, again, that you just kind of want to keep rewatching to kind of piece together everything, and I absolutely love this one. I thought it was so, so good. And then we've got a newer horror favorite, and that is Smile. The trailer really scared me for this one, I am not gonna lie. And therefore I didn't go see it because this whole smiling thing really creeped me out, but I wanted to see the second one. So I watched this and it was brilliant. It terrified me, but it was so, so good. And the sequel, it was incredible. It was one of my favorite horror sequels I've ever seen. Naomi Scott deserved more praise for her performance because she was phenomenal in this movie. And then another classic, we've got Ghostbusters 1 and 2. I got to see the first one on the big screen because we played it shortly after we reopened through COVID. I'm going to be saying that a lot, but it was really special for me to get to see it on the big screen. And then we've got Spirited Away and Howl's Moving Castle. I watched Howl's Moving Castle because Christian Bale is in it and Josh Hutcherson is in it, and I wasn't really sure what to expect. I had heard amazing things, but I absolutely loved it. And then my husband told me if I liked it, I should watch Spirited Away, and he was right because it's equally as brilliant. I love these two movies. They're gorgeous. And then we've got a super raunchy comedy, and that's What's Your Number? I saw the reviews for this movie and they're just awful, but I love it. I laugh so hard when I am watching this movie, and I think that Chris Evans and Anna Faris have really good chemistry, and I absolutely love this one. If you like really raunchy comedies, I think you should check this one out. I think it's worth it. And then we've got another MCU favorite, Black Panther, one of my favorite origin stories. The second I said Black Panther, I could hear that incredible score going in my head. But Michael B. Jordan in this movie as Killmonger is so, so good. And it very much saddens me about Chadwick Boseman because I think that whole thing is so sad. So the next one I'm going to talk about, well, obviously it's the sequel, Wakanda Forever. But, this one is so sad, but so beautiful, and I feel for them because they had a really tough feat in making this movie without him in it, and therefore it has like a sadder tone to it, so it's not one that you want to rewatch as much, but it's so good. It's such a worthy sequel, and I'm really, really excited to see what they do with Black Panther 3 because David Johnson is incredible. But yeah, the Chadwick Boseman thing really saddens me, and I was really sad to hear that news, and I just think that they had a really rough job and they did like the best sequel that they could to honor him, and I really appreciated it. And then I've got Thor. This one's good. I like it. I like the character of Thor. It's fine. And then we got Thor Dark World. This one's not good. I don't ever rewatch it, but I felt weird not owning it, so it's there. And then we've got Thor Ragnarok, which I love. I think this one's hilarious. It's so entertaining, so different in tone, and I really, really liked this one. And kind of a hot take, but I like Thor Love and Thunder. I don't think it's a great movie, partly because I think they underused Christian Bale. I think he should have been in it way, way more, but I do think it got too much hate because it's a fine movie. I enjoy it. It's good, I would say. It's just not, I don't think it's as good as Thor Ragnarok, but needed more Christian Bale, as most things do. And then we've got another favorite origin story, and that's Shang-Chi. I'm so excited to see him in Doomsday because I loved this movie. It was such a pleasant surprise, and I'm very thankful to this movie because it came out shortly, again, after theaters reopened, and we really needed this movie to perform well because I was so afraid if it didn't that we were gonna get Eternals pushed, we were gonna get No Way Home pushed. I was like, oh my god, we need this movie to do well, and it did. And I think that that's why Eternals and No Way Home got released when they did without having the release dates pushed. And because of this movie, we have Shang-Chi to thank, I think. But I really loved this one. It's visually so stunning. The fight sequences are so good, and I cannot wait to see more of this character. And then we've got The Holdovers. This was such a heartwarming one that I think is going to be kind of a staple to watch during the holidays. It's rare that my dad likes a movie. He's a very tough critic, and he loved this one. So I think this is going to be one that we watch with my whole family every year, but I really, really loved it. And then we've, of course, got the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. The first movie is a really special one to me because it was the first PG-13 movie that my parents let me and my brother go see. And when I tell you we were sitting in that theater during the trailers, like, what are we gonna see? Like, what's a PG-13 movie even like? Like, we were so excited, and it's great. Spider-Man 2, fantastic. I don't watch Spider-Man 3. I don't like it. I've seen it twice, and it makes me feel uncomfortable and cringy, and I don't like Spider-Man 3, but the first two in this trilogy are incredible. And then we've got Amazing Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man 2. This one was in my hot takes video because it's one of my favorite Spider-Man movies. I love Amazing Spider-Man 2, and Amazing Spider-Man is a good movie as well, but I love Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, and I'm really glad we got to see him get redemption in No Way Home because he deserves it. Right, so moving down, we have my Lorelai Gilmore pop, my Office ones, and my Workaholics, and then we have a little Hocus Pocus collector's pin that came with my Blu-ray. So I'm going to go ahead and take these ones down. So next we have a comedy that I really, really love, and that is Game Night. This movie is so good. I went to go see it, and I was just shocked at how hilarious it is. Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams are perfect in this movie. And then we've got one that was such a pleasant surprise, and that's Dungeons and Dragons. I loved this movie. I thought it was so good, and the characters really like stood out to me. Sometimes with action movies, I feel like they can get a little bit, you know, you could kind of pluck one character and put them in a different fantasy movie and it wouldn't make the difference. Like, they just kind of feel very generic. These characters didn't feel like that. They felt like they were for this movie specifically. And I really, really loved that. They were really memorable, and I was just so pleasantly surprised at how fun this one was. And then we've got kind of a controversial one, I think, and that's Poor Things. I loved this movie. Me and my friend went to go see it, and we were blown away by it. I thought it was really funny. I thought it was emotional, like just kind of everything. It's not for everybody, definitely not. But I really, really loved this one, and I think Emma Stone was brilliant in this movie. I thought it was so, so good, and I really want to read the book. And then we've got some of my favorites, and that's Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, War for the Planet of the Apes, and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and I love all of these movies so much. This one was, I think this one ended up being one of my favorites of the year it came out. I think it was 2024, but I really, really loved this one. I love the whole series. That's a series that I just absolutely love. Every installment, I will rewatch them constantly. I actually think when War for the Planet of the Apes came out, I think I did like a double feature where I sat through Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Yeah, I think I sat through this one, and then they ran this one in 3D, and it was very cool. I think, if I'm remembering that correctly. And then we've got another classic, and that is the Back to the Future trilogy. I love all three of these movies, but I mean, the first one is just complete magic. I love this movie. I got to experience, was it just the first one? Yeah. I got to experience the first one on the big screen shortly after we reopened through COVID. I think I've said that about 50 times, but that was really special seeing it on the big screen. And then we've got one that I think just came out at the wrong time, and that was In the Heights. This is such a good musical. It's one of the best modern movies that I've seen in quite some time. Like, I thought it was so good. Visually, it was stunning. Like, everything was so good. But it was one of those ones that came out in theaters the same day it was released on HBO Max. And I think that did the movie such a disservice, because I just don't think it ever really found its audience, but it deserves it, and you should watch it. I really loved it. Like I said, one of my favorite movie musicals. I really enjoyed it. And then we've got Jojo Rabbit. I saw this one for my birthday, and it was so funny, but also I don't want to say too much. There's something that happens in the movie, and it's so sad that you could hear the entire auditorium kind of go because no one was expecting it, and it was just, I love this movie. I don't want to say too much, but it's very funny, but it's also extremely heartbreaking, heartwarming, everything, but I really love this one. And then we've got one that is possibly one of the most different movies that I own, and that's Spontaneous. And if you haven't seen it and you like weird movies, I think you should check it out. It's about teenagers, and they randomly start exploding, and nobody knows why. And that's all I want to say. It's super funny. It's a little dark, but it's also got like this great heart to it, and I really highly recommend checking it out. And then we've got a classic, that's Kingsman. I really love this one. The action is so well done. I didn't like the second one, so I don't own it. And I think I saw The King's Man, but I don't remember anything about it. I think I might have fallen asleep through that one, to be honest. I think I watched after work one night and was exhausted. But I do know that I saw at least bits of it. Then we've got another classic, and that's White Chicks. I love White Chicks. That one, it's so rewatchable. It's so funny. Little Man is good too, so that was just a bonus when I saw the 2-pack. But watching Scary Movie 6, I was like, oh, I want to own White Chicks. And I immediately went out and bought this. And then we've got Pitch Perfect and Pitch Perfect 2. I love these movies. They're so funny. I love the music, just the cast, everything is so good. I didn't like the third one, so I don't own that one. And then we've got The Menu. This one, another fun fact, this was the last movie I saw in theaters before my daughter was born. I was very pregnant when I went to go see this one, to the point where my parents didn't want me to go by myself, and they were like, no, we'll come with you just in case something happens. But this one was so good. It's one where you don't really want to know too much when you go into it, but I loved it. It was thrilling, and it just kind of kept you on the edge of your seat, never really knowing where it was going to go, but I really loved this one. And then we've got One Battle After Another. This one was one of my favorites last year. It was so good. A lot of humor, just kind of everything. And I really, I don't want to say too much because this one is a newer one, so I don't want to say too much, but there's a car scene at the end of the movie, and I was just like on the edge of my seat watching it in the theater. And this is one I think you really have to see on the big screen, because my husband watched it at home and he liked it, but didn't have as much appreciation for it as I did. And I think that's why. I think because he watched it at home. And then I've got one from this year, and that's Reminders of Him. I really love this book. It's very heartbreaking, but also heartwarming. I think I've said that a million times in this video as well. But it's also like deeply emotional to watch as a parent, but I really love this one. It was a really good adaptation as well. Except I have problems with the ending. That's all I'll say. And then we've got another Leonardo DiCaprio one, and that's Shutter Island. I love this movie. It's such a good thriller. The ending, like just everything is so good. And I've actually been really wanting to rewatch this one. And then we've got Iron Man, of course, because you can't own an MCU movie without having this one as well. This is the one that started it all, and I really love this one. I don't really like Iron Man too much. I haven't rewatched it a ton. And then Iron Man 3 has grown on me a little bit, but it's still not one of my favorites. But that first one, you can't beat it. I love that one. And then we've got another classic, The Breakfast Club. This is another one that I got to see on the big screen. I had seen it at home, but I got to see it on the big screen as well, and that was really, really special to me. And then we've got another one that's kind of new. I think this one's from last year, but that's Regretting You. This is another book that I absolutely love. This one's a really good romance, drama, family drama. It's got multiple romances in it, lots of drama. So if you like any of that, I highly recommend checking it out. I really liked this one. The cast is really, really good. And then we've, of course, I can't have a Leonardo DiCaprio collection without having The Wolf of Wall Street. I loved this movie. This was actually one of the only like rated R movies that we played where people didn't really know what they were getting when they walked into it, and people were walking out because of like the language. I guess it wasn't really a Christmas Day with your family type of movie, which is when I think it came out for Christmas, but or on Christmas, I'm sorry. And so we had a lot of families coming to see it, and they would leave because they were upset about the language. But I mean, it's rated R. That's what I would tell them. But I love this one. You can't beat it. It's so good. And then I talked about this one in my nostalgic video, but A Cinderella Story with Hilary Duff. I just saw her live in concert, and it like healed my little inner child, and I loved it so, so much. And this movie is very, very special to me. I love it. I love her. And I just simply can't stop listening to her music since I went to go see her live. And then we've got another one that I grew up watching, John Tucker Must Die. This one is so funny. It's so rewatchable. This one is a staple, like, to watch with your friends. I love this one. And following that is 13 Going on 30. I absolutely love this movie. Jennifer Garner is so good. I was very worried when I saw that they were making, is it a reboot? I think it's a reboot. And I was very nervous about that, but then I saw the cast and I'm intrigued. I'm gonna be optimistic about it. And then I've got another favorite horror movie. I love this movie, and that's Malignant. I knew nothing about this going into it. It was one of the ones that was released in theaters and on HBO Max during COVID. I went in with my coworker and we were blown away by it. And I was so glad that I knew nothing about it. But I loved this one, and I think about it all the time. And we've got another Leo movie, The Aviator. I love this movie so much. I've been wanting to rewatch it so badly because I've only seen it a couple times, but I've loved it every single time. And then another comedy, Step Brothers. You can't beat it. I don't think we should ever make a sequel to it. I just don't think it would be the same. Let this just be on its own because it's perfect. A perfect comedy. And I talked about, yeah, I did. This one I talked about as well in my nostalgic favorites video, and that's The Princess Diaries. I love this movie. I talked kind of about how my dad took me to like my own private show to see it, and we had a little daddy-daughter date, and it's one of my favorite memories, so therefore one of my favorite movies. And the second one is so good as well. I just have more nostalgia for the first one, but this one is a worthy sequel. And then we've got Dumb and Dumber. I love this movie so much. It's hilarious. I have not seen the sequel. I just watched this one for the first time, I think last year, but I really loved it. Then we've got another rom-com that I never hear anybody talk about, and that's The First Time. I love Dylan O'Brien, so I watched it just for him, and it's hilarious. If you are a fan of Dylan O'Brien, I highly recommend checking this one out, especially if you like rom-coms. And then we've got Journey to the Center of the Earth and Journey to... Again, I saw this movie in 3D for Josh Hutcherson, and I saw this movie for Josh Hutcherson. I love these ones. They're fun. They're for the whole family, and they're a really good time. I wish they would have kept making them because I think that they're a blast, and I can't wait to watch them with my daughter. And then we've got another horror staple, and that's Hereditary. I knew nothing about this movie going in. I thought it was going to center on a certain character. I don't want to say too much. So then if you've seen it, what happens, I was shocked, and I had no idea what to expect anymore, and it was brilliant. It's such a good movie. Toni Collette deserved an Oscar nomination for this, and I will die by that. She was incredible in this movie. It's so good. I'm sure you've seen it. Everyone's seen it, but it's so good. And then we've got another like family comedy, and that's Instant Family. Rose Byrne and Mark Wahlberg are so funny in this. Rose Byrne, I think, is one of the funniest working actors today. I think she's hysterical. And this movie's so heartwarming, but also so hilarious. And it was the perfect release for Thanksgiving, which is, I think, yeah, it came out for Thanksgiving, and it was a perfect one to come out for the holidays because this one's fun for the whole family. And then another comedy classic, and that's Superbad. I love this movie. You can't beat it. Again, like, I think I've heard, like, people say that they want a sequel. I just leave these ones alone. I don't know. I love these types of movies for what they are, and I think if we expand upon them too much, you ruin them. So I hope we never get a sequel, even though I'm sure one day we probably will. And then to kind of close out this video, because I think I'm just going to go through those two shelves. It's getting a little bit late. I have a newer favorite, and I've never seen okay, I have The Matrix. I had never seen The Matrix. I just never have. I don't know. I always wanted to. I didn't have anything against it, but I watched it just literally a couple nights ago, and I loved that first movie. I was blown away by it. I totally get the hype around it. I get why it was so impressive when it came out. The sequels I liked. I thought they were fine. They didn't match like the perfection that is the first one though. But I do have a question for anybody that has seen the entire franchise. Do I watch the 2021 one? I've heard it's awful, but I don't want to like miss something. If there's any fun to be had, I don't want to miss that. So please let me know if it's worth watching or if I should just skip it, because I'm open to both. Like I said, it's like past 11 o'clock. My daughter will be up at midnight wanting me to come in there with her. So I think I'm gonna be done for right now, but I would like to do part 4 really, really soon because I've been having a lot of fun with this. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you for part 4.